Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Vedic chanting is going on. In the Brahmo Samaj ceremony, Sri Ramakrishna is witnessing the Brahmo devotees chanted in chorus with the acharyas. Om Brahman is truth, knowledge, infinity. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Om Brahman is truth, Satyam. It is knowledge, Jnanam, Anantam, infinity, endless. The two important characteristics of the Absolute is it is endless, infinite. In every aspect it is infinite. And infinite means always in practicality there cannot be two things at all. Because if there are two, if there is anything other than one, it is going to limit it. The infinite falls short of being infinite by another thing existing apart from it. So, when we say infinite in practicality, in mathematics we can have a number of infinities. But in practically there can be one infinite. There cannot be two objects also. It is non-dual infinity. Similarly, eternal. Eternal we use only when there is no past, present and future. There is what we call for our understanding as eternal present. There is no past, there is no time consciousness, there is no awareness of time. Now we are in the realm of time and space. There is relativity, there is no relativity, there is no concept of time. As if you are in deep sleep, there is no awareness of time at all. Because of eternity, when we say eternity, there is no movement. If movement is there, time comes into picture. There is one bliss, absolute, one entity because it is infinite. And it is ocean of bliss, ananda, only bliss. Without an enjoyer and enjoyed, it becomes immediately a triad. The person who is enjoying, the process of enjoying, and then enjoyer. Enjoyer, enjoyed and enjoying. Three comes into picture. A triad comes into picture. There is no triad. There is bliss without experiencer and experienced. Bliss. Bliss itself is engulfed in bliss and enjoying the bliss of that infinity. Ananda. It is Ananda Sagara without a duality. The moment we say eternal, there is one substance and there are no varieties, there is no triad and there is no movement. The moment there is any movement, there is time comes into picture. Time appears without affecting the Absolute and dissolves back with creation. Creation is time and space bound, relative existence. It appears in the Absolute without affecting the Absolute, without limiting in any way the Absolute. Just like fire appears in space. Fire is there in space. Space is not affected by the presence of fire. Fire not only doesn't burn, fire never is going to burn the space, though it has given room for it. Not only that it doesn't burn, but space is pervading in and through the fire. Fire is, the space is pervading, it is not displacing. Now, suppose any object, suppose there is ice or there is a stone, I put in the water, it displaces water. The water's place is occupied, it is affecting the water. In space, if I keep a stone, it is not displacing the space. Space is continuing to pervade the stone in and through it. Because space is the subtlemost thing which can pervade everything and remain unaffected by it. Imagine this, if the space itself is unaffected by the presence of anything in it, what about the absolute existence, Chaitanya? So there is no movement, and when the time and space appears in the universe, in the absolute, the space and time-bound universes appear. There is timeless, spaceless existence all around. And this timeless, spaceless existence is giving existence to this, but is unaffected by it. So this, the infinite and eternal, important two words we use for the absolute. This is the impersonal God of the Hindus. God means it is unlimited. Any kind of limitation will make it not to be God. Suppose I say God is Advaita alone, I am putting a limit. It cannot be Dvaita. If I say Dvaita alone, then I am putting a limit on God. So God is unlimited always. So we come here, and this aspect of God, in which we see God is all pervading everything and giving in it the universes and appear and disappear, then we will understand. Time and space bound universes, millions in numbers, not one or two, Ananta Koti Brahmandas, appear and disappear. Millions of years it takes to appear and disappear. But it happens. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya. The whole thing is going in cyclic order. So the infinite, eternal applies only to the absolute, and that is the impersonal God of the Hindus. Then comes the manifested universe. The manifested universe in which all living beings are existing, like a nest, Vishwanidam, like a nest, universal nest. All objects and all things are there in this universe. So this universe we call the manifested God. The God manifested. Here it has taken the form of the universe and all beings. It is immanent. God is immanent. Like a crystal of sugar. Sugar is immanent. Every point is filled with sugar or salt cake. Except salt, nothing else is there. Salt cake. Now, excess of salt in a curry. Suppose you put a fist of salt in a bowl of curry. It is, if you taste it, it's salt and salt alone, as if. You can't find the taste of the vegetables or anything in the bowl. Then it is other than salt, something else is there. It may be that salt is excessive. Then we use the term Lavanamaya. Here Lavanamaya, excessive salt. Lavana Ghana, in Lavana Ghana, the object except salt, nothing else is there. It's a block of sugar, block of salt, block of salt, lavana ghana, block of salt. Lavana maya, it is filled with salt is salt. Other than salt, something else is there. So when we use the term absolute, the God there and the absolute is the ghana, chaitanya ghana, chid ghana. It is chid ghana, chaitanya ghana. Here, chaitanya maya, chinmaya. Other than the absolute existence, there is material aspect, there is sattva rajatama playing. But apart from that, it is not there. And it is totally pervaded. It is pervading everything. Salt is pervading the curry. God is there as immanent. Immanent, when we say God is pervaded, just like space everywhere in this universe. Space is pervading everything and existing, giving existence to all the objects that exist within the space. So many things are there in the space. Space is giving room for all that and pervading it also. So this pervasion, the Chaitanya that pervades the universe, we call the Lord of the universe. The universe as it is, which is manifest from the absolute, we call the immanent aspect of God. Universe as God as immanent aspect of God. Absolute existence, immanent existence, the beyond, the immanent, pervading. Then the Chaitanya that is pervading, the absolute that is pervading, the space pervading all objects, like that. Now this Chaitanya pervading the whole universe and all beings, we call as the Lord of the universe, which by its mere presence is making all the objects to exist. Chid Ghana Kai and Chaitanya Ghana, Chaitanya Maya, and this Chinmaya aspect of the is called God, the Lord of the universe. And then there is the God appearing to save the mankind now and then. Just like when there is a pain, my hand goes there, wherever pain is there, to relieve the pain in that part. Like that, God appears to relieve the suffering of mankind now and then when there is a collective. Suppose a thorn pricks, an ant bites, or a mosquito bites. I don't bother much because I am accustomed to this. I will just rub it off. But when I have had a fall, my hand breaks, or some disease is there, arthritis is there, constant pain is there, I will have to attend. When there is a collective, so many cells are suffering together. A prick, a few cells are affected. That gets cured. Nature is there to cure. I don't need medicine. A mosquito bites. I don't need a surgery or anything. It is there, it will go away within no time. Nature is taking care. But when I had a fall, I have to attend to it, then my hand runs there, stops the blood. So many things has to be done. Now this, my hand going, is called avatara. God coming down to alleviate the collective suffering of mankind at a larger scale or independently because of the excessive longing. He appears to Deva. It's called the avatara. So as the Lord of the universe, at the immanent aspect, and as the absolute existence, and as the avatara, the fifth part is the God specially manifest in all lives as the indweller. He pervades everything, but in special way it manifests in the lives. This special manifestation is called, of the indweller is called Antaryamin, as Antaryamin. Just like now, television, waves are there in every whole world is as if filled with the same electromagnetic waves of the TV unit. Now, it is pervading every TV unit, every object, everything. But in TV unit, it can manifest. And when does it manifest? When it is on. If you switch on and tune to any channel, it will immediately start displaying. It shows its presence. It is present everywhere, but it is specially manifest here because it is on. When life is there, God is specially manifest in that life. Like the all-pervading TV waves are specially manifested there as on the screen. So this manifestation in life of the all-pervading God is called the Antaryamin. So in 5 ways we can realize God: as a transcendental reality, as the immanent reality, as the Lord of the universe, as the incarnation avatara, as the indweller in all beings, the Antaryamin. So here, when he says Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, the existence, Sat, existence. Sat, the moment we say Sat Asti, because it is not to be seen, it is not to be, my 5 senses cannot perceive the reality. Brahman cannot be perceived by senses. It cannot be conceived by mind. It is Vangmanatita. Nobody can tell what it is because it's Vangatita, Vakatita, Manoatita. It cannot be conceived by mind also. It cannot be understood by the intellect also. I can know any aspect of our even computers, softwares, all designings we can understand. But I cannot understand what is Brahman, because it crosses all the aspects of my existence and all my instruments. None of the instruments I use to perceive this world can be applied there. So how to know that? Only scripture says, yes, it exists. Sat. Sat, it exists, is certified by the scriptures. Then second proof is the one who has transcended the nature and seen and come. Yes, I have seen. Shrunvantu Vishve, Vedahametam. Listen, I have seen. So this is second proof. And I am alive. Things I am able to understand, perceive. Some Chaitanya is within me. And how do I separate from body? Who am I? I have an existence independent of bodily existence. I am made to separate every day. Who am I? These are the proofs of existence of God beyond. So Sat, it exists, it certifies its existence. Chit, it is conscious, it is like matter, it exists like matter. No, it is conscious. You are having reflected consciousness of God, like the sunshine in the room, sunlight in the room, not even sunshine. Sunshine is outside the room. Within the room is sunlight. With that light you are able to understand what people are talking. You can understand objects are there. So what could be the consciousness itself? If the reflected consciousness in a life, material body, can understand what happens to, that is Sat Chit, it is consciousness itself. So Sat Chit Ananda, it may be there, it may be conscious, but is it something always weeping and sitting like, no, it is Ananda. It is not Nirananda. It is not grief. It is not pain. It is not anything short of being Ananda. Ananda, when do you experience? Only when you are yourself, independent of dependence on all things and association with all things. You are yourself. Then only the full Ananda, Swarupa of yours, Swarupa. Bodily existence is Rupa. It is Sarupa. This is Swarupa, one's own nature. When I am myself, independent of all external things, then I enjoy that bliss, Ananda, Ananda Swarupa. So, Ananda is my Swarupa. Bodily existence is my Bahir Rupa, in and through which I am expressing myself. So, Sat Chit Ananda. As a embedded soul in the body, I am able to enjoy the Ananda when I enter into sleep. Every day, I am free from all pains of the body, tension of the mind, all things that can bind me, limit me, give me suffering. I am free from that when I am in deep sleep. So, I am experiencing that Ananda, being in the body with all karmic load and all tendencies driving me, with all that, the deep within, there is the Ananda. If this Ananda, with all these limitations, if there is there, limitless existence, what Ananda could it be there? It is Satchid Ananda. So, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. It is Sat, Ananda. It is Chitta, consciousness. Satchit Ananda. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. This is the epithet that is used for the absolute existence. Another term what we use is Asti Bhati Priya, the triad. Asti, it exists. Bhati, it can be, it expresses itself. And it is Priya. Sat Chitananda is told objectively. Subjectively, when you say Sat Chit Ananda, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, by itself what it is, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Sat Chit Ananda is when I experience it, Sat Chit Ananda. When it is by itself, it is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Asti Bhati Priya is when I objectively see that. It is Asti. Oh, it is Asti. I see, oh, it is there, I am seeing Asti. Bhati, it is expressing itself. It is Priya. The same Satchidananda. As it is, as I experience, and as I see it objectively. One is objectified understanding, one is subjectified understanding, one is what it is by itself without subject and object. There is another word used, Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Satyam Shivam Sundaram. This is what it projects itself to be in the universe. All is asat. It's expressing itself as sat, like sun is expressing itself to the world. Whoever wants can see. Satyam Shivam. It is auspicious. It doesn't harm anybody. It preserves your harmlessness. Shivam. All other things try to limit you, give pain to you, try to bind you. Only Chaitanya is what doesn't harm you anyway. What is it doing for you and all the people together. Independent of my experience, like I am Atma Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, all these, I am Atma Brahma, when it says, it is independent of all things. And it is how it expresses commonly to all. As Satyam, Shivam, Satyam, Satta, Satyam, it becomes, you see. How the form of expression changes, you see, how beautifully it Satyam. You see, Asat is there. Everything is getting ended, constant changing, everything is going away. But there is a thing which pervades, which is not going destroying. Body is going to destroy, soul is not going to destroy. So it is expressing a Satyam amidst the Asat, Satyam. Shivam, there is pain giving everything and limiting. This is not, it is protecting your originality. Shivam, now auspicious you. Sundaram, it is so making everything beautiful. It imparts beauty to everything. If it is there, it is beautiful. If it is not there, it is not beautiful. So these three terminologies are being constantly used in the Upanishads and to express the absolute. Here the Brahmo Samaj is using that truth, knowledge, infinity. Sat, Chit, Anand, Satyam, Anantam, Brahma. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. It shines as bliss and immortality. It shines as bliss and immortality. It shines as bliss and immortality. It shines as bliss. When I see immortality is what I experience, not being mortal, because I have two aspects of my existence, bodily existence and spiritual existence. The spiritual existence is I am Atman, it is indestructible. I identify with the body, then I am mortal. If I identify with my spiritual existence, I am immortal. So immortality, it is shining as immortality in me. It is shining as immortality in all living beings. All things disappear, but the Chaitanya which is pervading all that remains forever. Immortality. Brahman is peace, blessedness, and the one without second. It is pure and unstained by sin. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.